Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Kadash, double honor to the true leaders of the nation of Israel in these last days. Great millstone, also known as GMS. Salutations to the Most High's men in the four corners of the earth, pushing His word in sincerity and in truth. And shalom to the sisters that support and subscribe wholeheartedly to the message of deliverance and salvation of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. It's your brother Ben Yum from GMS, Mississippi. Today I have in transit a topic going into soul food, because this truth is good for your soul. It's the real food that you can eat and not hunger. This is that water that you can drink and never thirst again. This is that bread of life, the words of the Heavenly Father. And as it is written, when you read in the book of Ezekiel, when it's first consumed, it's very sweet. But your journey and your truth and your knowledge increase, the wisdom that you gain, the situations and circumstances that you go through on a day-to-day basis, those things are what enhances what one would deem bitterness, or what the scriptures deem bitterness, right? Because as it is written, it shall be sweet in thy mouth, but bitter in thy belly, you know? And a lot of things attribute to that, whether it's things at home, whether it's things abroad, things at work, whatever the case may be. It could be material things, you know, your apartment or your home, your living condition cannot be up to par, you know. It cannot be what you want, or it could just be giving you problems. It could be your vehicle or your transportation, or even the lack thereof, you know. But first and foremost, before all physical things, you know, it's the spiritual burdens, the spiritual bitterness of this word. Because as you mature and spiritually grow in the world, you still continue to see and be vexed by the things that are in the world, right? Because when you go into the scriptures, you know, it talks about that vexation of the spirit, you know, and how the soul is sore vexed with all the seeing thereof. So when you look left, you look right, the whole world is in disarray and consumed with evil and wickedness. But to be able to consume that role according to the scriptures, being able to consume this role, which are the holy scriptures, that's where you find your peace. That's where you find your comfort, you know, through it all. Because hell sucks, bitterness sucks, you know. That's why the scriptures say that the flesh warreth after the spirit, and the reason that is because the spirit wants spiritual things, and they're not pleasing unto the flesh. The flesh wants carnal things, which are sweet, and it's always pleasantries. It's what makes it feel good, you know. But your spirit, you have to exercise your spirit, and it causes fatigue, it causes stress and anxiety, depression. So it's not the best feeling in the world. The most fulfilling feeling that you get is after doing the work. You feel complete, you feel holy, you feel righteous, you know. You feel like you have a purpose. But all other things outside of that, you know, when they're compared into carnality or physical things, then it's nothing but pleasure, you know, fulfilling your different lust and desires. That's what the flesh wants, you know. But the Heavenly Father, He has made a way to where that perfect man in His eyes, you know, because we're not perfect in our own eyes, and no man that we see is perfect, because we all slip and falleth as we strive for the masteries. But that perfect man in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, he has that complete balance to where he's able to take the sweet with the bitter and the bitter with the sweet, and not be consumed by one or the other, but become renewed and afresh through the Spirit, you know. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing in itself, because the Heavenly Father, has attributed you with that particular characteristic. It cannot be taken, it cannot be swayed. The only modification or the modifying of it itself is if the Heavenly Father took it away from you. And that's it. You know, no more, no less. Now, you take that rod like unto a reed, which is the Holy Bible, when it's taken and it has to be completely consumed, and once it's consumed, it's digested. Now the regurgitation of the word is the backsliding or the returning into an old way, an old person, an old work, an old way. But as you're renewed through the Spirit and you're born again, which means what? Is that your mind has been restored or your mind has changed. You know, being born again is a part of that sweetness, because being born again is very sweet and satisfying in the beginning. But as more people come against you, as more areas you have to display some concrete and solid discipline, the balance of that, it becomes bitterness. But all things are done for the glorification of the Heavenly Father, and His elect men are being tried as fine gold in the furnace. So these different afflictions and burdens that may seem too bitter or too much to bear, the Heavenly Father, He's not slack concerning His promise, and He's always going to make a way for His own to escape and to be able to abide therewith and overcome. You know, so those doubting demons and those depressing demons and, you know, everything that comes with it, you know, the Heavenly Father, look, as it is written, you know, a righteous man knoweth when he slippeth. You know, so those different things are going to come and they're going to happen. You know, but the Heavenly Father, He has it to where that you'll be able to acknowledge it and you'll be able to overcome it. You know, because this walk of finding out that you're an Israelite man or Israelite woman, and you know the Heavenly Father's name, you know His Son's name, you know who the lost sheep are of the house of Israel, you know all these sweet things, but yet your heart race when you see blue lights behind you, you know, or you get intimidated by your Edomite boss on the job, or you get harassed here and there, and you know you get called names, and you get called spick and nigger and wetback, you know, and because you're not free right now. You're free in your mind, you're free in the spirit, and you're rich, even though you may appear poor and unintelligent with no wisdom. But you got this glory. You got the glory of the scriptures. You got the glory of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, which 2/3 of the world of our own people do not have that. 2/3 of the tribes.
Cierre de carril más adelante a 2.1 millas. Sigues estando en la ruta más rápida.
Of the house of Israel, 2/3 of our own people do not have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And to top that off, the heathens of this world, they don't have it at all. So they can't endure the sweet or the bitter, because their life is what it is. They're enjoying the sweetness right now. The heathens are enjoying the sweetness of this earth because the Heavenly Father gave it over into their power, into their hands, to rule it in wickedness. But they're going to have bitterness. They're going to have bitterness because they're going to go into captivity. They're going to go in slavery underneath the Israelites. So the Heavenly Father, He's going to make the head the tail and the tail the head. But that bitterness we have to endure, because we can't get the sweetness of the kingdom without going through the bitterness of hell. So until next time, I say shalom.